Namaskar and good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I'm very happy to see all of you again in this session. So today we are going to see the second part of Bhakti Yoga. So I shall begin the session by paying my obeisance to my Guru Deva Sri Sri Ananda Murti, who's the inspiration behind this sharing. So this is the outline of the presentation. Okay, as I always stress in every class, so the purpose of this sharing is to make the participant understand the fundamentals of Sanathana Dharma, okay, which is the path that we are following. And Sanathana Dharma is not a sectarian path. It is actually a natural path of every soul in its journey. In this manifested universe, okay, throughout its journey in this manifested universe. And the term Sanatana means eternal. So this eternal, this word refers to the Atman, which is eternal. And Dharma is the property or nature. Okay. And every soul during its journey also will strive to fulfill the Purushartha, or the four fundamental longings, which are known as Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. The Dharma stands for psycho-spiritual progress. Artha stands for progress in material field. Kama is for survival, and Moksha is for final enlightenment. Okay, I think by today is the 10th class. By now, you should be really familiar with these terms. Okay, these are the takeaways from last week. So last week we discussed about the concept of bhakti. So one of the things that that we have to remember about bhakti yoga is that when a jiva or a living being is awakened after getting in touch with Brahma Swarasa or the cosmic flow, it will strive to accelerate its speed towards Ishvara, okay, or God, or whichever name you choose to call. So this movement of a jiva towards the cosmic being is known as bhakti. The attraction is known as bhakti. And bhakti will be expressed through various bhavas or ideation towards God or Bhagavan. Okay, again, this is illustration. So we introduce the concept of Brahma Swarasa. Okay, through this concept, we say that this supreme being is like a nucleus attracting all living beings. So the supreme being will release a vibration like a ripple, just like when you throw a stone into a pond, it will create ripples. So this wave which the cosmic nucleus create is known as Brahma Swarasa, and this Brahma Swarasa will reach the receptive mind in this entire universe, not only the Earth. In the entire universe, there are millions and millions and maybe trillions of, countless life forms. Those who have reached the state of human being. Okay, so they are ready to to be awakened. Okay, so after being awakened, so they will start to move towards the nucleus. Okay, so this is what I mentioned just now. So the supreme being is as the nucleus of this creation is known as Purushottama. Okay, so this Purushottama attracts we don't say by gender or he or she, but generally whenever I use the word he, it is gender neutral. Okay, so the force of inspiration which Purushottama creates through the Brahma Swarasa, okay, is an inspiration, and that inspiration keeps all the receptive mind connected to Purushottama. Actually, we are always connected, it's just that we are not awakened. Okay, so the Brahma Swarasa will awaken you. Okay, will remind you that remind you where you belong actually. So that's the purpose of awakening each soul. So we also saw that Lord Krishna, okay, in his attribute as Bhagavan, is the personification of Ishvara. Ishvara means control of this universe. when Krishna attracts all jivas towards him through Brahma Swarsa. From the very beginning, in the earlier class, we explained that Krishna, there's a Krishna from the philosophical perspective, Krishna as the nucleus of the universe, and Krishna the historical personality. All these three Krishnas are the same. Okay, so even today, and you may or may not believe in the historical Krishna. Okay, so but this Krishna represents the universal consciousness. Okay, it continues to attract all jivas even today. Okay, so the illustration in the Bhakti Sastras, they always depict Krishna is playing with the gopikas. Okay, and who are the gopikas? Okay, well, gopikas actually the jivas, the awakened jivas who start to run towards Krishna. Okay, so Krishna also, as I quoted last week when Krishna said, Aham Atma Kudakesa. Okay, Sarva Jivascha Sthiti. That means I am the Atma in every living being. Okay, Aham Adi Cha Madhya Sarva Jiva Anta Eva Cha. That means I am the beginning, middle, and the end of all living beings. So Krishna also is the Atman in every living being. Okay, all this is just to give you an idea about all this, but you need to actually search this on your own. Okay, so my purpose is here is not to be an apologist of Krishna or promoting Mahabharata and so on. Okay, my purpose here is to make you understand the fundamentals of Sanatana Dharma, and of course using Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita as the basis. So you will see one of the important, the most glittering character is Krishna. Okay, today, this is the main subject of today. We shall discuss about this particular sloka from the 18th chapter, the 66th sloka. Sarva dharman parityajya mam yegam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papepyo mokshayishyami masucha. Okay, which translate, set aside all other dharmas and take shelter in me alone. I will save you from all sins. Have no fear about that. Okay, so this is actually a loose translation. Okay, because when it used the word sin, it's not exactly sin. Anyway, I will explain along the way. So what is Sarva Dharman Parijajya? We shall see word by word. Okay, Sarva Dharman Parijajya, it translates abandon all dharma. Okay, so from the what you call very beginning, we discussed the concept of dharma. Okay, then suddenly why is talking about all dharma. So how many dharmas are there? Okay, so here when Krishna is referring to upadharmas. Okay, so we have primary dharma, we have upadharma. So the primary dharma of every, for example, fire's primary dharma is to burn. It is the property of fire to burn. But fire does not burn every material in the same way. Okay, the way it burns the fossil fuel or plastic or wood, okay, it's different. I mean, in terms of how fast it does, it burns and turn the substance to ashes and all that and so on is different from material to material. Okay, so that how fire burns, that is secondary dharma. Okay, similarly, the primary dharma of human being is to know oneself, to realize oneself, okay, and to shed the ego consciousness and to merge with Brahma, with the original source. Whereas the Upadharma refers to the expression of vrittis. Okay, so we have, according to Yoga Shastra, we have 50 basic vrittis. Okay, so I'm using a term. Vritti means expression. Okay, that means like just to give few example: anger, greed, jealousy, hope, even fear is a form of vritti. Okay, I mean, to be infatuated is a vritti. Okay, vanity is a vritti. Sadistic tendency is a vritti. Belittling others is a vritti. So there are 50 vrittis, and when you look at the diagram, so those who are familiar about this chakras and all that, the human chakra system, so you will see that there are petals. They depict each chakra like having petal. Muladhara having four petal, Swadhisthana 6, Manipura chakra 10, Anahata 12, Vishuddha 16, and Agya chakra at the midpoint of eyebrow having 2 petals. So altogether there are 50. These 50 petals actually represent the 50 basic vritti or expression or propensities of human being. And these 50 will be expressed as 1,000. We'll actually multiply into thousands. Okay, we are not going into that. So when I conduct my classes on this Astanga Yoga, the focus class on Astanga Yoga, so I will elaborate more on that. So we have this expression as a natural expression. In fact, I covered also this in one of the earlier class as Astapasha and Shatripo. Okay, those are some principal expressions. So these are secondary dharma. Okay. So this secondary dharma also refers to the Purushartha. Just now we discussed about this. I mean, we've been discussing throughout these classes about the vritti of kama, physical survival and progress. Okay, but from dharma also is a vritti. Okay, so these are the secondary dharmas. So this you cannot ignore. Okay, so you have, even if you live as a single person, you have to eat and sustain yourself. So you need to work, you need to earn. So if you have a family, okay, you have a bigger commitment. Okay, so like that. So when we are embodied, so we have to fulfill the secondary dharma. Okay, so the Sanatana Dharma does not teach you to, or does not advocate living home and then becoming a hermit and so on. Okay, so if you are naturally inclined to become hermit from the very beginning, that's a different story. But naturally, everyone's supposed to fulfill the purpose of their life. I mean, fulfill the secondary dharma. Okay, but fulfill your secondary dharma by adjusting with your primary dharma. That's why in the order of Purushartha, dharma comes first. Okay, we didn't, even though physical body, in our eye, physical body comes first. Okay, but the very existence of physical body is because of dharma. Okay, so dharma, the force of dharma made you to evolve from inanimate life form, okay, to microorganism, okay, become plant, animal, and so even in animal kingdom, even in plant kingdom, how many species are there? Okay, the Shastra says there are 84 types of life forms that you have to take. Okay, so you have to go through all this in the process of evolution. So it is the universal law of dharma which actually push you unknowingly until you reach the form of human being. And when you reach the human form, also you live several life, a very dull life, so just struggle for survival. So and later, slowly, after many lives, you'll have a little intellectual development. Okay, and then gradually the awakening of dharma also will take place. And after the awakening of dharma happens, you will start to move towards the supreme consciousness, or you start to seek enlightenment in an accelerated speed. Okay, so here when he said sarva dharman parityajya, then in the subsequent, so it means he's talking about abandoning. Okay, why he asked to abandon? I mean, it's not from the very beginning, at the end. Okay, it means you have. So we'll come to that. Okay, then, as I mentioned earlier, and so fulfillment of upadharmas are necessary, and fulfillment of primary dharma is more important. Is the goal of human life, because suppose you are so attached to your fulfillment of your secondary dharma, your family duties. Okay, You think a lot. So you start a family, few kids, then the family grow. Then you become the grandparent. Okay, so your kids, they start to get married, they have kids, and you live a very long life. So you want to create a dynasty. You start to interfere with everyone's life. Even after your sons and daughters grow up, you still interfere. You interfere with their kids, your grandchildren. Maybe you have great grandchildren. Okay, so human beings like to do that. Many people, even at even just before they die, they still think that they have control over this universe. So if they, people indulge in secondary dharma like that, there's no end to it, because eventually the physical body will die. Okay, and yeah, some people even despite the death of physical body, they will continue to in other form, continue to how to say, watch over the descendants. Okay, but according to dharma, you are not supposed to do that. Okay, so as long as you live in this world, fulfill your duty. The moment is over, and so even there is a system. Okay, there's a system of varnashrama. Means from the age 5 to 25, so you fulfill the duty of the student. From 25 to 50 or 55, you fulfill the duty of a householder. Then 55 onwards, okay, now this age, what do you call, this limit may vary, because now people to choose to retire at 60 or even longer, but actually ideally you should retire at 55. Okay, 60 now, maybe now, because lifespan, okay, we have a longer lifespan, mortality rate has actually dropped. So with a great healthcare system, so people live longer. So you may extend to, but ideally is 55. Okay, 50 to 55, and after that you should slowly withdraw from family responsibility and focus more on sadhana. Okay, so even, see, traditionally they have given this system, but we don't do that, you see, because and we also, and your involvement with the purushartha, with kama and artha, will slowly regress as you age. The focus will be more on dharma. But today, people will be focusing on kama and artha throughout their life until they die. Okay, and that's where you start to have problem after your death. Okay, again, I'm not going into that subject. So that is an interesting subject. What happens? What is the journey of the soul after death, after the death of physical body? Okay, that will be another topic in the future, a specific topic. Okay, so we are not supposed to attach to the secondary dharma. Secondary dharma has a beginning and end within your present lifespan. Okay, so next. So sarva dharma parityajya. So mam ekam sharanam braja. So okay, Krishna again here in the second line he said mam ekam sharanam braja. That means translate move blissfully towards the supreme. Okay, so Krishna, okay, has a lot here. Okay, this is the instruction not only to Arjuna but to entire humanity. He said, move blissfully towards the supreme. Okay, that is primary dharma. Okay, then he said, aham tuam sarva papyebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. Okay, so he said, I shall liberate all beings. Well, I shall liberate your samskaras, liberate you from your samskaras, and give you liberation, give you moksha, and do not fear. Okay. So this is when my Guru Deva explained this. Okay, so this is in is one of his discourse, which is published in one of his book. Okay, he said jivas are compelled to act under the impact of two personalities. One is the small I, which craves to accumulate so many things, big or small, and to give so many things to society. Okay, the small I creates a world of its own, centering around that little I, a world of illusion wherein the small I is entrapped and where it considers itself to be the supreme monarch. Then simultaneously, there's a larger world, the much larger world of Paramapurusha, a world where the small I is a mere bubble. All the hopes and aspiration, all the desires and urges of that insignificant bubble residing within the vast mind of Paramapurusha attain supreme fulfillment only at the time when it merges itself in the mainstream of cosmic flow. Okay. So here Gurudeva is telling that we have seen that Jivatma, as a Jivatma, you have your, in a particular life, so you have your family, okay, your likes and dislikes, okay, so you live to fulfill your samskara, and you are guided by your own ego, okay, and you think that you are in control of everything. So that's why people keep on planning many things, okay. They even plan things 30 years ahead, and while they may only have another 10 years in their lifespan, okay. But the truth is, everything is determined by a grand design, okay. So whatever the jiva plan, okay, may or may not be fulfilled, because the jivas are only bubble, okay, they're very insignificant, okay. Only when they are in line with the cosmic mind, that's where when everything that they desire will materialize, okay. So great spiritualists, the Mahapurushas, their minds are always in tune with the Supreme Being, okay. So that's why when they come to this world, they can fulfill a lot of things, okay. They can even change the course of history, okay. Even Krishna is one example, okay. So his mind was so perfectly in tune to the nucleus. In fact, the nucleus expresses itself through Lord Krishna, okay. So many things that a Mahapurusha did during his time may not be known to humanity. So there are many silent siddhas working, doing a lot of things, changing the collective consciousness and so on. Okay, some of them are known. Okay, historically, some of them are not known. Okay, but how they could deliver all this is through, because they are in perfectly in tune with the cosmic Purusha. Okay, so in chapter 18, sloka 66, Lord Krishna is urging all jivas to surrender their doership. The jivas are trapped in the cycle of birth and death because they claim doership for all their actions. In truth, all actions are the projection of, okay, there's a typo here, of Saguna Brahma or the cosmic mind. Okay, so you see, the Supreme Being is known as Brahma generally. Okay, but Supreme Being will be in one state, in the complete state of equilibrium, as Nirguna Brahma. Okay, just give you some idea, so why the word Saguna Brahma is how Brahma functions in the manifested universe. We are in the manifested universe, okay. That is the spirit which one particular sloka from Upanishad. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. So Purnam Ada refers to Nirguna Brahma, okay, which is complete, which is always complete. Purnam Idam refers to Saguna Brahma. So we are within the Saguna Brahma. There are 7 lokas: Bhur, Bhuva, Suva, Maha, Chana, Tapa, Satyam. 7th lokas. And in the Satya Loka only, Brahma exists as Nirguna Brahma. So when someone attains the final salvation, which is known as moksha or Mahaparinirvana in Buddhism, okay, they reach the state of Satya Loka. The Loka, the 6 lokas below it, is within the realm of, it's a manifested universe. Okay, that's a realm. Those are the realms of manifested universe. And this is operated by the same Brahma as Saguna. So why is Saguna? Because in Nirguna, he controls the Shakti. The Shakti is like a very obedient wife. Okay, she does not talk. Okay, I give that analogy. In Saguna Brahma, Shakti, okay, because there is 2 principles, Shiva and Shakti. Okay, I've mentioned earlier, Shiva Shakti Atmakam Brahma. Okay, in Brahma composites of Shiva and Shakti. Okay, this is according to the Tantric philosophy. So in Saguna Brahma, what do you call, Shiva, the husband, allows Shakti to play active role. And Shakti, she does all sort of things using the three gunas, Sattva guna, Raja guna, and Tamo guna. Okay, she controls the universe. Okay, so, and we all, and this Shakti is our mother, our universal mother, because she brought us as Jivatma. She gave us the birth as Jivatma. Okay, and the day when Saguna Brahma orders Shakti, okay, release A. Okay, it's enough. Okay, you already enjoy this universe enough. Okay, let him. I mean, of course, not just like that. After you go through all the process until you made repeated attempt to attain liberation, so you will be given that clearance. Okay, I mean, this is basically. I'm explaining that philosophically. Yeah? Okay, so because all actions are the projection of the Saguna Brahma. So. But jivas think that they are the one who does the thing. Okay, now we have to see the rational. Okay, the rational. You should ask the question. So, say, why should the Lord liberate everyone? Okay, why did He make that statement? I shall liberate you from your what do you call samskara, and what is the philosophy behind it? Okay, so the third question I will address later. Okay, so we'll just address the first two questions. So let's go back to the sloka. Okay, so sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papyebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. Okay. So I think the first line, I think you understand, right? Sarva dharman parityajya. So he is saying that, okay, you give up your primary dharma. I mean, you have to focus on your primary dharma. Means you engage, of course, you have to engage in your secondary dharma, but ultimately you have to fulfill the primary dharma. Okay, if you look at the flow of the discussion in the Bhagavad Gita itself, you will find that Krishna will guide Arjuna gradually. You tell him, so you are the Atma, okay, you are the Jivatma, so you are here to fulfill your dharma. So this war is part of your dharma. Okay, he will say that. Then he will say that everything is predestined, everything is planned by me. You are just playing your role. Okay. Then suddenly at the end he said, no, actually, abandon all those things. Okay, and I shall liberate you. But the same Krishna will tell him, you have to do sadhana. Okay, as though it is the what do you call that? It's the burden of the jiva to liberate itself. Okay, so I mean, if you see chapter by chapter, okay, see the principle of this sloka. This is actually a great secret. Okay, so one Vaishnava school, the Sri Vaishnava school by which was founded by Ramanuja, they use this sloka as their third mantra. Okay, they have 3 secret mantra in their school. They call it Rahasya Traya mantra, and this is the third mantra. See, the problem of us jivas, okay, we always sign our checks. Okay, I give you the analogy as signing the check. So if you sign a check and the check was sent to the bank, so the bank will honor your check according to the balance that you have. Okay, I think it's very clear. So you sign a letter, you send out a letter. Okay, if some legal problem occurs because of your letter, so they'll bring it to the court. They said, okay, let's say the person's name is Raj. Okay, Mr. Raj, did you sign this? This is your signature? Yes. Then you are the culprit, so you are guilty. So I mean, similarly here, using this, every action that you perform in this world, you say, I do. I did this. This is my kid. I feed them. I brought up them. I funded their studies. Okay. Then you will claim ownership, credit for whatever you did in your career. Oh, see, I brought up the company. So I'm the key person in that company. So I brought up business. Every year I bring 50 millions of sales. Oh, I'm the best management staff there. so forth and so on. So you will do all this. A prime minister will say, oh, I'm the one who changed the whole generation for good or for bad. So we kept claiming the ownership for the action, the doership. So Krishna here is revealing one secret, is telling, you are not doing anything. So you are just an expression of Saguna Brahma, my own mind. So you are kept taking birth and playing a particular role in every life. And you are getting trapped because you are claiming the doership. Of course, in certain chapters in Gita itself, they reveal the secret about, like in chapter 5, Karma Sannyas, they reveal the secret that how to perform action without attachment. The yogis, those who practice yoga, a certain type of practice, even in the Ananda Marga school, they have lessons called Madhuvitya. This similar lesson practiced by the yogis in the Himalayas to perform action without getting the reaction. Even if you have such lesson, you still maybe more than 80% of the time you'll forget. It's not that easy, because whenever you get engrossed in the world, the Prakriti with the three gunas, the Shakti, she will pervert your mind. She will cause perversion in your mind, and because that is her duty, to keep all jivas, to keep all jivas entrapped in this Prakriti, in this universe. So it's not easy. So Krishna is telling, so of course I've revealed the secret about all those things, but still it's not easy for people to become such a perfect yogi. So therefore, give up your doership. Just sign it. Tell me. Just tell me. So surrender to me. Say that, okay, all this belongs to you, and I'm surrendering. Then when you say sarva papyepyo, is referring to your samskara. So some papa means not just sins. This is all, even your good karmas, the good effect of your good karmas also belongs to this category. Your samskara, all your samskara in totality. So he said, I will relieve you from this. So this is a what I call prerogative. So which is given, a privilege Lord is giving to every jivas. That means you as a jiva, you will struggle after becoming a human being. After you took the human form, in many lives you struggle as an ordinary human, and then you become a spiritualist, and you struggle with your karma yoga, with your jnana yoga, with your bhakti yoga, and all that. So he's the professor. So those who studied in university, they know. So the paper might be very tough and all that, but the final say is with your professor, with your lecturer, so they can make you pass. Even if you fail, they can ask you to do some assignment. Do this assignment, so I'll pass you. So similarly, the Lord is like that. He can pass you if you wish. You can be a great yogi, he still will not pass you if you are full of ego. So I think somebody asked this also in one of the classes. So how are we going to struggle with all this temptation from this world? How are we going to get liberation? So I'm not here to discourage you, to say that, oh, you all are so weak, therefore you can't really perform yoga. We all can perform. But in each life you have you will have your limitations. So here, Lord Krishna made this as this declaration, 3,500 years ago. This sankalpa stays even today. Lord Krishna, so historically, might have made that sankalpa, but the effect of the sankalpa continues until today. So because you may say that I never met Krishna, so how this statement, this declaration gonna benefit me? So so it's actually, but last week I mentioned about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he came about 500 years ago, almost 3,000 years after Krishna. Just one example, carrying the same legacy of Krishna. So means many gurus come from time to time. So even when he say aham tvam sarva papyu, when he say sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam, so he's referring to the principle Okay, the principle of consciousness, the principle of Paramatma. Okay, it's like a license. Okay, many gurus, many elevated beings carries this license when post Krishna's period or even before Krishna. Okay, so all of you have access. Okay, to reach the Lord. Okay, this is the direct path. But for you to even understand this, you should have done some homework. You should have put some effort, some sincere effort in sadhana for you even to understand this. Otherwise, this might be just a statement. You may not even understand this. It may not even touch you. Okay. So this declaration is, so why Krishna is giving this offer, okay, or any guru for that matter, is because everyone is entitled for liberation and nobody does this, whether sin or punya, papa punya, not by their own will. They come, okay, so they is because all this is part of cosmic drama. Okay, so after everything is being fulfilled, if they are ready to exit, so they will be given the opportunity. Okay, so now I shall come to the third question. I shall address the third question just now. Okay, how to know that we are in tune with the aspiration? So one thing is the Supreme Being has a bhava. Remember I mentioned that all of us in the last week that every living being can connect with the Supreme Being with certain bhava, like Vatsalya bhava, like a parent to the child. Dashya bhava, like a servant to the Lord, or like a love, Sakya bhava, like Arjuna and Krishna, okay, as a friend, in the bhava of friendship, or Madhura bhava as a lover, okay. So similarly, Parama Purusha have one, what do you call, always will have one particular bhava towards living being. So one yogi composed a sutra. He said, Bhagavad Snehadi Rekam Prema, means, okay, use the word sneha, which refers to parental love. That the Supreme Being have excessive parental love for every living being. Okay, just like a normal parent. Okay, I think some of you are parents here. You have, even though your child might be stubborn, might be rude to you, but still you have that parental love. It might not be excessive after some time, but okay, it is there. Okay, but in the case of Paramapurusha, it is unlimited. Okay, so and because he has that, okay, the Supreme Being has that, and that excessive love, this sneha, is expressed in various forms. So one of the form is hita. Hita means welfare. So Paramapurusha's feeling towards you always is your welfare, your material welfare, your spiritual welfare. Okay, I would like to quote that sloka again, which I quoted last week. Ananya chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityapi yuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. The keyword here is yogakshema. Is it for those who have ananya bhakti, exclusive bhakti towards me, I will preserve what they have and bring to them what they don't. Means if you are materially wealthy, then you decide, but you don't have spiritual wealth, you'll bring the spiritual wealth to you. Okay, so so that is hita. So hita here, hita, or the spirit of welfare, is always to make sure that you get the best. Okay, it's only you are not ready to receive it. So when Paramapurusha will have this particular bhava towards living being, and if you also do the same, if you also always serve other living being, whoever comes to you, so you are in tune with his mind. So even while performing your secondary dharma, you are a businessman, you do business, you make sure that you produce the best quality of product, which is of best quality, and with a what they call proper price, the proper pricing. And to make sure, maybe you start a pharmaceutical company, you make sure that the proper research is being done and all that. So your purpose is people should benefit. So you are in tune with Paramapurusha. Okay, or if you are an educator, you want to make sure that your students do well, really understand what you're trying to teach. You are in that. So whenever you have this kind of attitude, so you are in tune with Paramapurusha. So whenever you do that kind of, so all your aspiration in that kind of bhava will find its fulfillment immediately. But whenever you do things which is antisocial in nature, you will receive opposition from Paramapurusha. Okay, all right. So the conclusion of today's lesson is surrender or Saranagati is the final word on the spiritual path. So Krishna said to humanity that you need not worry about anything. I will do everything for you. Just move along your path and surrender to me. So whatever hopes and desires people cherish in their hearts find fulfillment when they are in perfect accord with the blissful flow of Paramapurusha. Okay, I already explained. Okay, the blissful flow of Paramapurusha always want to make sure that all living beings moves in a blissful flow towards him back. Okay, so that blissful flow is known as Vraja Parikrama. Okay, blissful pilgrimage. Okay, with that I conclude today's lesson. Thanks for listening, and I welcome questions for this or discussion.
Hello.
Yeah, namaskar. Yeah, is that Velu?
Hi, brother. Yes, that's me. Hi.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Yeah. Yes, I'm doing very well. Thanks. And again, thank you for a very nice discourse again.
Welcome. Yeah.
I've got a lot of questions, but I will try to limit to two so I can give everyone else a chance. So my first question is about the Saguna Brahma and the Nirguna Brahma.
Okay.
And you said that Saguna Brahma is the Brahma in this manifested universe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the Nirguna Brahma is Brahma in its pure state. Or or the way I'm thinking is Brahma behind the veil. You know, it is something that we can't actually see in that express form. Okay. Unless we do sadhana and we merge into him, which we are merging actually to the Nirguna Brahma, or we are merging to the Saguna Brahma? That's my question.
Okay, see, Nirguna Brahma is the witnessing Brahma, and Saguna Brahma is the active Brahma. Okay, is one way to put it. Okay. Actually, Nirguna Brahma will not take active role in the manifested universe. Okay, that means when you finally merge with Nirguna Brahma, that's it. Okay, and actually there's no difference between Nirguna and Saguna. You see, because in Nirguna, Shakti, okay, because Brahma so is composite of Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is the consciousness part. Okay, the witness. Okay, and so our Guru said this, you know, Shiva Shakti Atmakam Brahma. Brahma is composite of Shiva and Shakti, just like if Brahma is fire, okay, so Shiva is the fire and Shakti is the heat. Okay. Then in the second sutra I said Shakti Shivasya Shakti. That means Shakti is controlled by Shiva. Okay, because in some philosophy they will say Shakti is dominant, like Sankhya philosophy will say Shakti is dominant, but in Tantra they said no. And then they are not fighting each other. Okay, like if you may see in some Puranas, actually they want to depict this philosophy only. You know, you will see in some Puranas, Shiva Purana, Parvati will leave the house. Shiva, you know, because she's not obedient to Shiva and so on. And then after that, she will do tapas to merge with Shiva back and all that. This actually is to explain that the whole story is to explain this concept only. Okay, so Shakti was allowed to take that active role. I mean, in Saguna Brahma, so all these three gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tamas, will become active. Okay, okay. So first, when Sattva will emerge, when Sattva emerge, that is the first eye consciousness of Saguna Brahma. So Saguna Brahma come into being as an active Purusha. Okay, please understand, it become an active Purusha. Then from the eye consciousness, so this the eye consciousness, the cosmic eye consciousness is known as Mahat. Then the Rajoguna, the what do you call it, mutative force, okay, is an active force, come to being. Okay, and so this bring the cosmic aham, the cosmic ego awareness. Then the tamas come into force. So the cosmic chitta, okay, so that is the cosmic chitta. And then after that, all the forces, the tamasic force is the force which actually will kind of compress everything. So with continuous compression of the tamasic force, all the 5 elements will come to be. Okay, from the force of ether, gas, the luminous factor of fire. Okay, fire is a form of luminous factor. Then liquid or water, and the solid or earth. So with tamasic, the effect of tamas, all the 5 elements come to be. Then this is one cycle called sanchara, the movement from subtle to crude. Okay, the subtlest form is nirguna brahma. Then the active brahma comes into being, and then each creation is, the first phase of creation takes place. In the second phase, there's a clash between this element, and because in all this, even though you created after the creation of the last element, the mind become dominant. The part of Brahma's mind is dominant there. Okay, so in the reversal process of evolution, prati sanchara, so jivatma becomes. So I don't want to go into that. That is metaphysical discussion. So that is too deep. So in the reversal process, the jivas start to emerge again. Okay, to go back. So we are in that phase. All this jivatma, according to this philosophy, so we are in this phase, and we have gone through all the various life form, and we have taken human form, and we are the exact replica of Saguna Brahma. So we also have the Mahat as I consciousness in us. We also have Aham, we have Chitta, everything. We have the 5 elements in the 5 lower chakra. Okay, so Saguna Brahma is that cosmic man with all this. Okay, so we are the exact reflection. So whatever you do, so you have Shakti locked in you as Kundalini Shakti. Okay. So to answer your question whether we merge, okay, we merge through Saguna Brahma only. So because when you merge first, you will merge with Saguna Brahma. So that is mukti in the face of your sadhana. So in your body, that is the Agya chakra, the mid, the chakra at the mid-brow, the eyebrows, Agya chakra. So that is in correspondence with Saguna Brahma. In yoga, they call it Savikalpa Samadhi. When Savikalpa Samadhi become permanent, that is mukti. Okay, so with that you merge with Saguna Brahma. And if you choose to go beyond that and reach the Sahasrara is in correspondence with Nirguna Brahma. Okay, but although it looks so easy, okay, it's not easy to, reaching mukti is one thing, and then going beyond that, so it's purely the grace of Supreme Being. Okay, of course, with all your tapas and so on. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what is your second question?
Okay, my second question is, over the weeks, you have mentioned several times about the book, Autobiography of a Yogi, several times, and also Yukteswar's book as well. Why do you mention those philosophies? Do you feel that it is kind of linked to Ananda Marga and what we are trying to achieve?
Actually, I use those as example because people are quite familiar with that. Okay, because I think many people might have read, and I believe most people who are in this class somehow have come across this kind of work. See, so like last year I even quoted Milarepa, but not many people have read that book, I believe. But those who are in spiritual circle, they're quite familiar. You see, and of course. So more, whether if you ask whether it is similar to Ananda, see, all schools of yoga are good. Okay, so personally, I would recommend to people a few schools, like the school of Swami Raman, the school of Swami Satyananda, okay, who's the disciple of Swami Sivananda, Sivananda Saraswati, or even the school of Kriya Yoga, So I would encourage people to go to the original school in India, directly from Lahiri Mahasaya, or the school of Yukteswar. Okay, because the school of I don't know what happened in US, because after post Yogananda's period. See, I'm not too sure about that. Okay, so most of these schools, and there are other schools which I may not know, but there are many good schools, and the difference is just like cars, so you may have Kanchil, you have BMW, Mercedes, Toyota, all cars can move, okay, but the comfort and technologies are different, or you may even drive a Ferrari, but again, can you drive a Ferrari? Okay, like some people said, I wanted the most powerful system of yoga. For example, there's an advanced form of yoga. So even in Ananda Marga, we have this. Traditionally, it was known as Laya Yoga. Okay, in Ananda Marga, it was known as Vishesh Yoga. So which is quite intense. But the question is, you have to prepare. Are you prepared to do that kind of yoga? Okay. Most people, even the basic form of yoga, they are struggling. They can't even put enough time and all that. Okay. But all yoga's proper system of yoga will actually help to unfold your higher consciousness and bring you in the journey. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Right. Any other question? Okay. So, okay. So while you formulate your questions, I will give you some announcement as well. So this will be the last class in the Gita series. I mean, as a continuous class. Okay. So now I have with today's class, I've covered the basic. How to say the basic some important essence of the Gita. Okay, so you may read the entire 18 chapter and all that from time to time and enrich your knowledge, but the basic the main theme of Gita, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, has been covered here. Okay, and post this class, what we will do is we will offer what I call specific topics. Okay, so for example, okay, what happened after, for example, I give an example which I said earlier. What happens to the soul after death? Okay, it can be a topic based on the 8th chapter of the Gita itself, and we will share a link there, Google Drive, through the Google Drive, and you should register. Okay, so we will suggest a particular date and you register. Okay, so if we have sufficient number of people, so we will conduct the class on that particular day. Okay, so we will take this approach, because I found that the numbers are dwindling, but somehow there are a fixed number of people who are coming regularly for these people. So I will continue to offer a various topic, and you also can suggest. You can send personal message to the admin or even to me about a topic of interest to you. Okay, to be addressed in the class. Okay, if we could address that, we will do that. Okay, happily. And also I will also offer a focus class on Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, this is more on meditation, covering the 8 limbs of yoga. And for this, you have to, we will share the link, but you have to contact me directly, and I will interview you, see whether you really fit into this. And I will also check whether you are really committed, because this one, if you go AWOL, means absent without leave, simply, this is not a class you can simply walk in and walk out. So unless you really have a serious emergency, so otherwise you'll be out of the class. Okay, the moment you treat it, because here in yoga, the first thing, Patanjali will say, Ata Yoga Anushanam. Anushana means, Anushasana means discipline. So yoga begins with discipline. Okay, so I mean, this class will be like either 6 to 7 weeks. Okay, so if you can commit for 7 weeks, okay, then only the yoga will work for you. Okay, and why you participate in this kind of classes is for your own progress. Okay, so if you can't attend a program continuously, if you choose to walk in and walk out as you wish, that means you don't have respect for your own self. Okay, so that is very important. All right, so this class also will be free of charge. Okay, so the payment for this is for your own commitment. Show your own commitment to your own progress. All right. So now I shall welcome, if you have some of you, if you have formulated your question, so please raise your question. Otherwise, Velu, I think you can proceed with your third question.
Okay, if nobody has got anything, I don't mind asking. The other day I did my sadhana, but I wasn't actually well, but I could sit down and all that. That was okay. But I think sometimes I was breathing through my mouth. The other times I was breathing through my nose. Then I wasn't sure that if breathing through my mouth is the proper way, or is there any difference?
You
Or
mean
doesn't?
you breathe in through your mouth because you're sick? Maybe you have a
Yes,
you had a
because of
blocked nose.
blocked
Okay.
nose. Yeah.
And I mean that is only for like 1-2 session. I mean that 1 or 2 session. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. But ideally when you're well, okay. But it's good that you have decided to fulfill your duty in your
Yes.
in complete yourself. You know? So that is very good. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, any slackness, in terms of it doesn't matter. That doesn't really say affect anything. Okay, but of course, for your regular practice, okay, just do according to the system.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you for that.
All right. Okay, so it's 9:04. Okay, if the participants have any other question, you please raise your question. So I think I already made my announcement as well. Okay, so another word is that so when we do last week, there's a question on Mahabharata. Okay, so Krishna being Paramapurusha, if he has the capacity to attract jivas, I think one brother asked this question. Okay, so so he made a statement like the war shouldn't happen. See, for us to really know whether something should happen or not, okay, we need to understand. So, like in this context, Mahabharata, you have to study. Okay, if you read the whole Mahabharata, then you'll understand. It is not just a conflict between the cousins. Okay, so it's a conflict with many people. To explain this, many things happens. It's not just because of one particular event. Okay, we all are affected by collective samskara. Okay, talking about the concept of samskara. Now most of us are here. We are in Malaysia. So you don't simply take birth in Malaysia without any reason. You must have some connection, okay, with this soil. Okay, you may say a lot of things. Okay, yeah, I shouldn't be born here. I should be, I should have been better off if I was born in another place, in the mainland or something. But still, you are here because of some reason. Okay, and you have choose to come here. Okay, so you have to fulfill the purpose. So similarly, in Mahabharata, you see there's many war. Okay, so and there's many conflict. If you read the whole text, you will see there are a lot of sub conflict within that. So within Mahabharata, it's always a grand design. Okay, so so it is important for us to understand how samskara works. Okay, the concept of samskara itself is a very big subject. Okay, it won't you can't understand how samskara works so easily. It'll take time. Okay, but we have revealed shared some basic principle, and with continuous study, we'll understand it better. Okay, all right. If you don't have any other questions, so I think I'll call it a day. Thank you for participating in this program. Okay, so you should congratulate yourself for being committed, and we will continue to offer you classes, as I said earlier, on various topics. Okay, not only Gita, you also will take some subject from the Upanishads, from other texts like Yoga Vasista. So many texts. There are many interesting stuff on those texts, and we'll try to share all those things. Okay, so thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you very much. Namaskar.